Castro Hilaylay, and now I'm gonna differentiate the two platforms. So as we all know, the pandemic has changed everyone's view on investment. Learning how to invest and become part of the numerous trading platforms in the economy. Well, in this lesson, we invest with two platforms, the eToro and the Instagram. The eToro is an international like Tesla, Amazon, and Apple, while Instagram is local, for example, Ayala Corporation, SM Corporation, and Petron Corporation. The platform that we have choose is the Instagram. We prefer to choose it because for us, we can easily invest or buy stocks to it. It also provides a handy guidance for people who wants to start their journey in the world of stock market. The Instagram also monitor hundreds of stocks anytime at present and get perfect view of what is happening in the market. From the start, I have no clue where to start. This is why platforms such as Instagram come in handy. But first, I just want to say thank you to our instructor for teaching us that before using hand-earned money, we just try utilizing these platforms to practice trading, even though it is not real money. Well, we could not to be worried about it. As what I experienced, my risk appetite is for not getting it right because this is my first time, but I believe practicing leads me to be a better understanding for what you're getting yourself into and what to look for in different scenarios. Actually, it helped me better grasp the stock market and be more decisive of the decisions I make later on with the real thing. I believe understanding your risk appetite allows you to make well-informed decisions about your money. As a beginner, I seek advice on what stocks to buy from my friends, but my deciding factor in choosing and picking stocks is to do some research before putting my money on it. Because some stock may fit the needs and goals of other more than it fits my goal. Well, picking my stock is to do some research into the company because as what I know, some of the ways on it is by watching news and by looking into the company's financial reports. Stock investors face a tough challenge in choosing where to invest. Well, in deciding factors in choosing and picking my stock has good current and projected profitability. That in choosing stocks, it is important to consider a company's financial fundamental including earnings, operating margins, and cash flow. Also, favorable asset utilization in the revenue earned for the company, and next is conservative capital structure. This is a company characteristically and earnings momentum, and last is the basic value gathered at market value. As the saying goes, you need money to make money. Each piso you invest is like a seed. The more seeds you have, the more trees you can grow and more fruits you have to harvest. The more money you have to invest, the more money you can aim to make. So well, it is true that because we do stock trading just to make profit from investing, I can say first that winning and losses are normal and part of trading. Not just the winning but also the losing ones. My simple strategy I need to gain profit from my respective portfolio is only buying and holding for achieving growth, and over time it can also be one of the most effective. Well, I think it is only a minor monitoring for buying stocks and keep in the portfolio, but I was pleasantly surprised with the result. Well, this is also my tactics and actions to minimize my losses. Just to buy and hold well. This is, I believe that time in the market is better than timing the market, and this could be increase the overall net return of the portfolio. As a beginner, I set realistic and achievable goals to myself, even that I compare myself in my earnings to other based on my portfolio that I saw a loss on my profit investing. Well, as a beginner, I just want to stop trading because I saw losses on my two stocks. But I keep in my mind that I am still learning and coming across a red market, and that is part of the lessons plan. And I keep the mindset that red market don't stay forever, and I need those days or these days to show what I did wrong and what I've done right. The best and most important advice an experienced trader can give is to always strive to do better. Never quench the thirst to learn. Nowadays, there are so many avenues where I can learn more about stocks and stock market, like watching video from YouTube, experience or the experienced trades. But I believe learning not only can from tutorials, but to learn from mistakes and grow from those difficulties. The only way to be better is to keep learning.
Hello everyone, I am Daisy Aluhan, and I'm going to share my experience on our chosen platform. So based on our chosen platform, which is the Instagram, I have experience on how it feels to engage in a virtual trading industry. And also, in this virtual trading platform, I experienced trading without a risk. Because since it is a virtual, there is no real money involved. And through this, I practice buying and selling stocks in real time without a risk.
Identify your risk appetite.
There is always a risk in engaging on investment. And since we are having this online trading, which we buy stocks and equities virtually, it is riskier than investing in banks. If we invest stocks virtually, the returns from the investment might not turn out as expected. And there is the possibility that we can lose some or even all of our investment. Like us that we are investing in this platform, and for this such downturn, we need to have a high risk appetite.
Discuss what is your deciding factor in choosing and picking stocks.
In my case, since it is my first time to engage trading or investing virtually, the deciding factor that I have in choosing and picking stocks is by determining the purchase and sales price of a stock. And also, I do research on business operations of that stocks for me to understand its intrinsic value and determine whether it deserves a spot in my portfolio. Because buying stocks virtually is not just a simple purchase, but we are also becoming a part owner of a company. And most importantly, it is important to decide what you want in our portfolio, to understand and then stick with it.
What are the different strategies you use to gain profit from your respective portfolio? What are your tactics and actions to minimize your losses if it losing?
Buying and holding investment is the strategy that I use to gain profit in my portfolio. Although it is just a simple strategy, but it can be one of the most effective strategies to use in investing. I simply buy stocks and keep them in my portfolio. And after a few days, I am going to check it. So with a minor monitoring, after I buy stocks and keep them in my portfolio, when I check it, I often pleasantly surprised with the result. My strategy is only buying and holding, and to minimize my losses if it is losing, is to have a stop loss strategy so that I can place a stop loss order to buy and sell specific stocks when they reach a particular price level.
Based on the performance on your portfolio, discuss your learning report.
Since I am a beginner investor, I manage my portfolio well and think that it's a real investment so that I can be determined to gain profit. Because if I think that it's not real, I could just make it a joke, like I will not take it seriously. So in my portfolio, I have 3 stocks, which one of these gained profit and the other 2 did not. So, as I already engaged in this kind of investment, I learned that it is important to be wise in choosing and picking stocks so that we were able to minimize if that stock has a good value and if it is a profitable stock. And also, it is important to determine whether a company has a competitive advantage.
I am Princess Ilosud. Accordingly to our chosen broker, which is eToro or Investagram, we choose Investagram because we all know Investagram is a local stock market in the Philippines. Investagram offers a simple but effective solution with its virtual trading platform called Virtual Trade. By becoming an Investagram member, VTrade will provide users with virtual money that they can use to practice in investing, and we purposely pick Investagram because I look at the platform, I look at the user experience, and for a long time stock market professional, the platform is actually useful to me. I see the credibility in the information that I'm able to gather from Investagram. The difference between eToro and Investagram is because of their stock market, because Investagram will only provided in the local market, which is the stock listed in Company of Philippines, while eToro is an international social investing platform. eToro will similar to Investagram. It allows its member to practice using its copy trader future with virtual money. But you can buy and sell in the stock market all over the country, which is US, London, Hong Kong, etc. eToro enables its user to invest in vehicles all over the world, from stock market and exchange and cryptocurrencies. Whenever you're dealing with the market, you can lose money too. Your capital is at risk. But the ability to communicate with other traders is a great way to learn along the way. In my experience in this activity is to observe stock behavior and apply some strategy. The thing that I always put in my mind in doing this activity is what our instructor tell us in our class discussion. The greater the risk, the higher the return. But I also put in my mind that I should not just buy stock that has higher risk, because not all of it will consistently have high return, and that I should be mindful in what I buy and sell. I must check first on its history or past fluctuation. Even that I am a conservative investor, I cannot be an active trader who can handle the day-to-day or week-to-week fluctuations of the price in the stock market. Buying blue chip stock which are known for their stability and slow, steady growth is the best option for me. I want to diversify my portfolio by buying a stock that both defensive and growth. Given that my goal is long term, I thought that this type of stock will be suitable and perfect for me. When choosing stock, I decide to pick the stocks for my price action strategy. Together the factors of liquidity, it is the most important factor when it comes to choosing the right stock. I have learned some investment strategies. My strategy is to gain profit from my respective portfolio, firstly knowing how the stock market works, along with it to learn the fundamental analysis and technical analysis as a beginner, as well as when it's the good or right time of buying a stocks. Being in the battlefield like in the stock market without knowledge will be hard to carry on or survive. One of the most actions that I've learned the hard way of losing money is to learn from my mistake. It's not to sell for the wrong reason if you believe in a company's long-term potential and your initial reason for buying the stocks still apply. Above all, must have patience, manage, and continue learning a lot of things to cut loss and make my assessment. Based on the performance of my portfolio, I could see that all the purchased stocks that I buy must be in all red, and I have not earned profit. So far, I cannot have everything green already. At first, I was down because everything was in red. I thought it was just carelessly buying stock next time. Above all, I learned of this activity must have patience, manage, and continue learning. This activity had given me significant learning that I could apply. Investment is one of the important things that you could do to your money. Of course, with the proper way of investing, this could help me by not only saving money but also making profit out of this investment. Although there will be loss at some times, but the important thing is that I already had learning such as observing market that you could use in picking stocks. I also learned adapting risk management, which one of the most important thing above all, and on reading trends that help me in doing decision making. This virtual trading is helpful especially to youngsters like me who likes to involve in the investment.